Welcome. Here we're going to talk about converting square units. So if we're dealing with areas, we end up with square units. And this might be a situation where, maybe carpet is sold by the square yard and you measure your home and you have square feet because that's what your ruler is. So something like that, you need to do the conversion. I'm going to start with the example problem of 15 square feet. So I'm going to write that as feet with the little 2 as the exponent, square feet, is how many square inches? So this is the example that I'm working on. How many square inches are in 15 square feet? So there's a couple ways of approaching this problem. Sometimes conversion factor tables will tell you how many square inches are in a square feet. Some of them are very detailed. But if you don't have that information, if you know that 12 inches equals 1 foot, then we can solve this problem. And this is my preferred method because it relies on information that I have readily available. I don't need to look anything up. So the first thing that we need to note is that when I have a square unit, the way exponents work, this is the same as feet times feet. So that's important to note because it's going to help us do our conversion. And the same is true for square inches. So square inches is equal to inches times inches. So armed with this information and with the 12 inches equals 1 foot, we're going to go ahead and solve this problem. Every time we do a conversion, we need to evaluate 12 inches equals 1 foot can be written as 12 inches over 1 foot, or it can be written as 1 foot over 12 inches. We are going to use one of these two equity fractions. We just don't know which one yet. So let's begin. I'm going to start with 15, and instead of writing feet squared, I'm going to write feet times feet. And you're going to see why I've chosen to do it that way in a second. So when I choose my fraction, my equity fraction, I will choose the one which contains feet in the denominator because that is what will allow my units to cancel. So I will choose 12 over 1. So I'll multiply this by 12 inches over 1 foot. Now, I can cancel one of the feet. But I'm still left with these units, right? I'm still left with a foot here, and I want to be rid of feet. I don't want to have them anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to repeat this process again. In order to cancel it a second time, I'm going to multiply again by 12 inches over 1 foot. And that allows me to cancel the second of my feet units. Now, I go ahead and multiply through, and I end up with 15 times 12 is 2,160. Now, the units, I have inches here and inches here. Inch times inch is inch squared, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I have exactly the answer that I was seeking, and I am finished with the problem. If you're working on a problem that has cubic units, that's cubed instead, so that would be a volume instead of an area, you would repeat this process. Instead of having 2 fractions here, I would have 3. Thank you so much for watching. That is how we convert square units from one to another.